In today's society, having a healthy and successful relationship seems like something that's far out of reach. Modern-day relationships face many of the same struggles as older couples, but there is also a heavy influence of social media, as well as miscommunication through texting and trust issues due to being able to connect with others at the touch of a finger. The American Psychological Association states that about 40 to 50% of married couples in the United States divorce. As you can see, relationships have a lot going against them, so how do you have a successful relationship? A study done by Robert Epstein of the University of the South Pacific, Fiji, found that the secret to a healthy relationship is mastering communication and increasing your knowledge of your partner. We're going to talk to 3 different couples to see how they communicate with each other, as well as how they've had to learn about each other in order to adjust their communication to be effective.
So we've been together for 37 and we just had our 33rd wedding anniversary.
8 years.
25 years, together for 29.
So I said open dialogue, being able to discuss anything, no matter how big or small, a trivial, something huge, and have it with passion and make sure that you're listening to each other.
I consider good communication to be expressing what you're feeling when you're feeling it and being honest.
Just having patience with each other, communication and listening. We kind of take it a step further with our relationship because we work together. So that adds a whole different element to the arguments.
I said not always, trial and error. We've gotten better over the years. So certainly when you're in a new relationship and it's, you're young and you're not living together and it's dating and it's exciting, you don't really argue at that point. At least we never did. We don't really argue much anyhow. We quibble and we pick at each other, but we're not really fighters.
So the ways that we've fixed conflicts in the past, well, from the very beginning of our relationship, like I said, we are kind of like not as honest with each other, and there was a lot more blowouts, I feel. Because we were bottling up so much, when we did fight, it was for days at a time, because we had so much bottled up and it was multiple things. But now, the way conflicts get resolved is we kind of just tackled it, like Jonathan said, we put it all out on the table right quick. And normally it's only one thing because we don't have things bottled up, and we're able to, for the most part, talk about it. Like I said, I have some issues where I kind of retract, but it seems for the most part, we're able to just get over it.
Yeah, back in the day, we used to yell, scream, slam the phone down. Honestly, it's too much stress to do that crap anymore. So I let her piss and moan and, sorry, I'm just going to keep it 100, as the homies say. Just to be honest with you, it's just too much putting into it to deal with arguing and stress all the time. And especially with we own funeral home, we see it all the time. We don't want to live with regret, and we try to live our life that way, just to have fun and enjoy our family and, just do the right thing. We've been together a long time. We count on each other.
We're hoping to retire in 6 years, so we had to do some planning, financial and otherwise. And so we met with the financial planner twice on Zoom. Our guy retired, and he was part of our family. And it's to me, when I talk about my finances, I feel like I'm naked. So it's really personal to me. And so Val retired, and we have a younger person who's 15 years younger than we are. And she was real good. Her name's Christy. She gave us some homework, and we had to talk about some things, and then we went back. So I would say that's as serious as it gets, because it's about finances and when you can retire and can we afford to retire.
About a week and a half ago was like our last in-depth conversation. We really just talked about our future together in the next, like specifically, like 3 to 9 months, what we want to do and what we want to accomplish to be able to out together and start our life.
We talk a lot just with the funeral home, and
I feel like when we came back from Florida, like when we came that day, we came back and then we were like, we realized that we wanted to be in a different place. Like we're ready to be in a different place. And I think that was a conversation we had. Remember, we were like, all right, it's time for us to start thinking about what the next chapter is for us. And I think that's a deep conversation, because that's life-changing in all aspects. It's where you live, it's how you run your life, obviously career, and if that involves like us selling our business. So it's becoming more and more a frequent conversation, but that was a deep conversation, and that was just like a week and a half ago or so.
Yeah, I would say I think I'm a good listener, but I will say this on Jean's behalf. Sometimes she'll start talking and maybe she's rambled off a few sentences, and I didn't even get that because I was focused on the TV, almost like a kid with the cartoons. You don't hear anything. You just looking.
Or he's on the phone.
So I always tell her, we kind of laugh about it. I said, if you need to tell me anything, especially something important, make sure to say, yeah, I got something to say.
Okay, so when it comes to like kind of him ranting or things he just wants to talk about, yes, I'm more open to listening. But like I said, when it comes to like him trying to tell me like what to do, or like I said, him trying to talk to me after a fight, it's like a defense mechanism. I just put up walls and I don't. So I guess the way to be better is to just be more open to all forms of listening, regardless of the topic.
I think that it depends on the subject. So if we're talking about something that is a one-sided conversation and someone's always right, I feel like, I tend to not be a good listener in that aspect. But if someone's explaining like something to me that really matters to them, then I do think I'm a good listener. Can I be a better listener? 100%. I think everybody can.
I'm horrible. I hate listening to babbling. I hate it. Like, I'll listen, and if I'm interested, I'll continue to listen. But if it's like just nonsense, I just whatever.
For real.
Occasionally, I'll throw in a uh-huh.
We're very honest about our relationship, so it's not a perfect glossy relationship. Like sometimes I feel more people than not try to portray they have this great relationship, and I feel like unless you've put in the time and the years, you don't have the substance to a great relationship. You could just say you do, but you really don't have the substance to equate that.
I think the number one thing I learned in this class is that not all issues can be solved, and that's okay. No relationship is perfect, nor will they ever be. These couples display that, but they also show us that continuing to work on themselves throughout the entirety of their relationships has allowed them to have more effective communication, which in turn helps them solve issues more efficiently. At the end of the day, communication is key, and the more we understand about one another, the less we fear and the more we are open to love.